For decades, we treated global health as three separate disciplines. Doctors stayed in hospitals, veterinarians focused on livestock, and ecologists monitored the wild. But escalating outbreaks and accelerating ecological collapses prove that biology doesn't respect those rigid borders. As extreme weather anomalies intensify, they tear through infrastructure and immediately wipe out the local agriculture necessary for human nutritional security. When we carve into wild habitats, the resulting environmental degradation forces displaced wildlife into closer contact with us. This actively increases the risk of a zoonotic disease jumping directly from an animal host into human populations. This One Health framework represents the international consensus that human, animal, and environmental health operate as a single system. Look at the outer ring. It maps how macro pressures, like climate change and intensive agriculture, actively squeeze and destabilize the delicate overlap. Treating the symptoms of the next pandemic or regional famine requires a unified strategy. We have to address the entire network, starting where the overlap is most intense. The clearest examples of this overlap are in the rural communities of the Global South. These areas operate directly at the intersection of wild ecosystems, agricultural livestock, and dense human habitation. In these high-risk zones, the first line of medical defense is often community animal health workers. By routinely swabbing domestic flocks and monitoring for pathogens, these workers catch zoonotic outbreaks in livestock long before the viruses adapt and infect humans. Some regions coordinate 3 health mobile teams, deploying medical doctors, veterinarians, and environmental guides together. They treat family illnesses, vaccinate local herds, and monitor community water sources all at the exact same time. Simple agricultural biosecurity measures, like power washing commercial pens to maintain sanitation, naturally prevent disease. Healthier herds require fewer antibiotics, directly slowing global antimicrobial resistance. Solving human public health crises begins with proactive agroecology and veterinary care in rural farming communities. This interconnected biology applies right down to your own property line. As suburban development expands, it paves over existing natural habitats and erases wild boundaries. To compensate, residential yards must function as active microecosystems, supporting the native fauna we have displaced. A practical method of source control for biodiversity loss is taking fallen leaves and tree limbs and stacking them into constructed brush piles. Left undisturbed, those branches provide immediate, life-saving shelter for small animals and insects, navigating an increasingly hostile suburban landscape. Converting yard debris into habitat turns a sterile lawn into a functioning node for local wildlife. Even when we retreat inside and close the doors, we are still managing an ecosystem. Sealed indoor environments naturally trap high concentrations of volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, chemicals like benzene and formaldehyde that off-gas from everyday household products. Federal authorities prioritize mechanical ventilation and strict source control to improve indoor air quality, noting that aftermarket air purifiers often fall short. This chart illustrates findings from a NASA clean air study. It shows how introducing specific biological assets, houseplants, into a sealed space actively scrubs trapped chemical toxins from the air at a measurable rate, creating a steep decline in VOCs. The snake plant is particularly efficient at extracting both benzene and formaldehyde out of the ambient indoor air. Meanwhile, the peace lily specializes in neutralizing other harsh indoor compounds, successfully removing ammonia and trichlorobenzene from the environment. But optimizing human health requires balancing animal health. Highly effective purifying species, like the money plant, are severely toxic if ingested by pets. Effective indoor source control involves managing the living room as a carefully balanced multi-species terrarium. The nano, micro, and macro scales are entirely connected. They are just different magnifications of the exact same biological system. The source of our physical well-being is never completely isolated inside our own bodies. The fundamental logic holds firm, whether you are drafting international agricultural policy or deciding which plant to place in your office. To protect your own life, you must proactively cultivate the health of the ecosystems and the creatures living alongside you.